Tim. This is a demo video for you for your KR Regiis. A little bit hard for the camera to focus on this guy because it's all chromed out and a bit of a fingerprint magnet. But hopefully you can see that okay. We didn't really do anything to the outside. This was just an install with the provided chassis. You had this sent to me straight from KR with the crystal chamber eco chassis from Goth and a CFX. All right, so you've got the stock. This is the eco NPXL or the V2. And how to get to your chassis is you want to take your pommel and unscrew it. All right, so we'll unscrew your pommel. Try not to drop it here. You'll see your chassis in there. It is pretty tight in there, even though I've sanded it a little bit. So what you want to do is just grab it in your hand like this, cup your other hand, and hit it just a few times. Maybe 3 times like that. It'll pop out enough where you can just pull it out. All right, and this is what it looks like. So you've got a dual crystal chamber here, top and bottom crystal chamber, a removable battery. You will want to give this battery a charge. All right, because it's a brand new battery from KR Sabers and it does need to be charged. I haven't done that, but you can pop it out with a tool. I'll pop it out so I can show you real quick. Your Keep Power 18650 here. And this is your battery cradle. So the negative side of your battery is always going to go over here by your kill switch. All right, so make sure you don't put the battery in backwards. Even though there is a surge protector on the CFX, you don't want to test that out. Okay, so your kill switch right here, you do have a cover on your board. It's held on there with magnets, and it's a pretty tight press fit. But you can pop it off with your fingers like that. When you come in here, you'll see your CFX. I couldn't do much to hide the wiring in there, which is something that I typically like to do. There just wasn't any place to put it. That's what the board cover's for, so you don't see it. All right, but you can get to your SD card very easily by popping it in and out with your finger just like that. And then when you're done, you want to make sure that you line up this board cover correctly because it's on magnets. So if you swap it, they're not going to stick to each other right. If you look at the board cover carefully, let me get it over here. So you can see like these squares or these rectangles on the board cover, they match the rectangles over here on your chassis, and it needs to go like that, not flipped around. Okay, so when we do that, we can just put it on there, press it in. It is a nice tight press fit, so you can just go ahead and line it up how you want it to, kind of clip it in place, and it stays like that. Excuse me. I apologize for my voice. I'm getting over a cold that I had about just a week and a half ago, and I totally lost my voice. And these demo videos take a lot out of me talking. All right. But anyway, hopefully you can understand me. Once we get all that in, we do still have the stock font package on your card, although it is programmed now for motion control. So when you have this on, a quick twist to the left will turn it on. A quick twist to the right will turn it off. So when we turn this on by flipping the switch, here it kind of power up there, and we twist it to the left, it turns it on, and then you got your crystal chamber, and you can see it. And then we twist it to the right to turn it off. All right, now when you're putting it into the Saber, you need to pay attention to the 2 grooves. You've got a groove, trying to focus, you got a groove right there, and then you also have another groove 180 degrees from it. You can kind of see them there on the tip of the chassis, one there and one there. Those are for 2 screws that kind of stick into the hilt a little bit. It's going to be hard if I try to show you this way. You're not going to be able to see it, but for reference, this hole right here in the Saber and another hole right here, that's pretty much where your screws are at. All right, so you'll want to make sure that either you have this crystal chamber piece right here facing your main switch, or the top of the board facing the main switch. All right, put that in there. If you don't have it lined up correctly, it's only going to go in about that far. So you can go ahead and turn it. You'll feel it, catch those grooves, and then you can push it in all the way. You don't have to push it in all the way with your finger. Once you get in this far, you can take your pommel, screw it on, and the pommel does all the work. All right, so you screw the pommel all the way on. What it does is it pushes the chassis forward. It engages a pin system in a secondary chassis piece that's right here that you never see. Make sure that power gets to your switches so you can turn it on with your main switch here. Auxiliary button is down here, this black switch. Blade lock up, twist to the right, turns it off. We'll go ahead and we'll throw a blade in. This is programmed for a full-length blade, so 132 neopixels is what the config says. But I'm only going to use a small TriStar test blade. All right, this Saber takes a 1-inch diameter neopixel blade. All right, so we'll put that in there. You are going to want to use your blade retention, and I'll show you that here in a second. It can be kind of confusing because there are 2 screws. Let me turn this light on real quick. So if you look right here, focus, that top grub screw is your blade retention, not this guy down here. You don't have to do anything with that button head screw. All right, it's that grub screw right there. All right, so go ahead, twist it on. Good flash on clash. Turn it off. Now, a neat thing in the config on this one as well, which I had my buddy Benji help me out with, is that instead of going to the sound bank menu to trade sound fonts, all you have to do is hold the power button down and hit the Saber.
Crystal focus.
And we went to the next font. We can do that again.
Nebula.
Now we're at the next font. Our blade lock up. And that's just by holding down the auxiliary.
Nebula.
Again. Every time you do that though, and the reason why I just messed up, every time you do that, you hold down the power, you hit the Saber to go to the next font, you want to let go of the power. Okay, you don't hang on to the power and just keep hitting the Saber like I just did. It's not going to keep rotating through the fonts. Every time it's the same function, right? So hold power, hit the Saber, go to the next font, then release the power. Just like that. All right. And we'll go ahead and we'll take the blade out of this guy and go over, you don't have to take the battery out, but we'll go over just flipping the kill switch, which is something I'm going to do before I ship it. So again, we'll just go ahead and take the pommel off. Bring our chassis out. Turn it on so that I can show you that the kill switch works. Kills everything just like it should. All right, so that is basically your KR Regiis. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, this is Friday, so I'll get you a tracking number and get this dropped off at the post office first thing Monday morning. The post office around here is closed on the weekends. All right, thanks, man.